Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back, my friends, to, of course, the MRC show that never ends. We are getting hot and humid and currently dry under the lights of Singapore. It is, of course, the first night race of the Formula One season for MRC. Joining me this evening in the very hot and sweaty and very cramped comms box, it is a man of, well, a couple of different nicknames. I think we'll just go with a standard one this evening. It is the blowhole himself, ready to pour some fun and facts and bring his knowledge to this Singapore Grand Prix. It's Mr. Bailey. Good evening.
Hello, Hodgie. You're right, it is cramped and steamy in here. You say it like it's a bad thing, though. I'm quite liking the coziness, you know?
Yeah, it's, cozy.
Snug.
Snug, yes. It is. Yes, so as I said, we are here now, under the lights in the Singapore Grand Prix. We've had, well, got a few new people in tonight, haven't we? And a few stand-ins, and one I'm going to mention first of all, while drivers are getting ready for the setups. Hopefully we're going to have a dry race. Of course, we didn't see that yesterday if anyone saw the race, but no spoilers in case you haven't seen it yet. But one person I'm going to mention is the new person to the league, which is Chatty Duck, or Donald as we're going to now call him. And yeah, he's, well, you've raced with him, haven't you? And see, he's pretty quick.
I have, yeah. He's a friend of some guy called Sargent. You know, some guy called Sarge. Although,
that guy.
We're not calling J Sarge anymore. We're calling him Jack, Jacob, David, or Lee Sarge because, as I'm sure he'll tell you later, his work colleagues can't ever get his name right.
Oh, really?
But yeah, Chatty Duck's very quick. He's in Tier 1 as well later, so get double opportunity to see what he can do on track. Yeah,
looking forward to his out on and out lap as well already. Good evening to Ant. Thank you for joining us. And of course, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, the very hilly Martin Hills is with us back in Blighty. So good to have you back, Martin, and watching us, even though I know for a fact it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will be watching. As we're on board with the man who's first out, Confetti Craig in the Alfa Romeo, doing his outlap around this 5.06 kilometre street circuit. 61 laps in total in the full race. We'll be doing approximately 30 this evening. 23 corners and 3 DRS zones. It's one of those street circuits that is potential for overtaking, but at the same point is very difficult to overtake.
Yeah, we saw the new car regulations make it a lot easier to follow them before, which is great. Obviously, as you mentioned, the 3 DRS zones were brought in to make it possible to fight here. But it does feel like every single time you go for a move, it feels like you're on death row.
It does, doesn't it? Those walls come thick and fast, don't they? They're ever menacing and ever big risk, isn't it, to see just to any driver. If you get a braking zone wrong, if you get a little bit wide, a little bit snaky. I know the traction in this is quite a low grip circuit as well.
Yeah, the braking zones as well, because of the bumps. If you get your braking slightly wrong, but if you hit a curb or just hit the bumps on track, you can find yourself as Mr. Hamilton and Mr. Verstappen did yesterday. No spoilers intended.
Yeah.
You can find yourself very deep into a corner, and as you mentioned, the walls coming thick and fast. It can be race over.
It really could, yeah. As Ron Confetti Craig has got a McLaren ahead of either Mr. Lambo or Mr. Fanning. Oh, there's contact! I think he actually tried to move out the way and caught Confetti napping a little bit. It was a difficult place, so contact made, the wing plate's gone. I think Confetti, you'll see, will be back in the pits after this, but we're going to go on board to the man who's second on the road. I think that will be the man of Chatty Duck.
He's invalidated though.
He has.
First sector.
Who else is out on a fast lap? Let's have a look at Barnstop. He's a very good in practice as Barnstop.
He has been. Just a quick one on that incident with Ryan and Confetti Craig. There's no penalty from the game for that incident, so that's good at least, and that we can sort it out later. So I'm sure we'll hear about it in the stewards room later.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I know we've had a bit of a mix-up with commentary this evening. Obviously, really glad you're with me, Chris, but we did have the choir boy who was going to join us, and then he had to was at college late, I do believe. Oh, he couldn't make it then. We're going to have the Banshee Joinery Club. You can make of that anagram as what you will. But unfortunately, internet issues for the Gav Lau couldn't make it, but he is watching. And we've also got the Gecko. He's back with Team Hornet tonight.
Yes. I think that means he's helping Mr. Hornet on comms.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. He's with me on Wednesday. I'm lying. I'm talking rubbish. I'm not sure what he means there.
No.
Anyway.
At least he's racing back with him. He's Team Hornet on Wednesday. Could be.
Maybe, yes. That makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Well, unless he's helping the bigger Hornet.
You know what? This Gecko, explain what you mean there, please, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's talk cars. Have you noticed how fantastic nearly all the cars look under the lights? The exception being the Red Bull, which is just, Red Bull.
Yeah. I do agree. We're actually on board with Barnstop at the moment on the Alpine. Even that blue looks fantastic at the moment under these lights. As he comes up second last corner, rides that curve absolutely fantastic. What does he do? 1:39.3, pops it at just under a tenth ahead of Calvin, who had got the provisional pole and taken it off Tom Brown. What a great opening lap from him. Let's have a look at Floppy Loppy. And I'll tell you what, that Williams looks very dark under the lights, but I like that. As a man who normally goes for a very bright and in-your-face livery, that Williams looks very, very smart.
I won't lie, I'm obviously biased because I love Williams, but... I've just seen Ryan and Call Me the Brave have a bit of a moment coming up to the Anderson Bridge. I'm sure Ryan will bring that up later. I know I'm biased about the Williams because I'm a big fan, but I think it looks incredible under the lights. The darker liveries, like the Aston as well, look fantastic.
The Aston does look nice as well. Let's have a look who we've got. Another Alpine. Let's have a look at another vehicle. Let's have a look at Fanning, who goes across the line with a 41.9. I mean, Fanning's coming out the back of this. Don't know how much practice he's managed to do. He was away this weekend, so I hope he's had a great weekend with family. But I don't think he's had much practice time, so hopefully he might just like the track. So fingers crossed for him.
He does quite like the high downforce and the high corner speed circuits rather than the low drag tracks. Sounds a bit weird, but he somehow revels in the more technical circuits. So
he does, yeah.
Even though he's not practiced, I wouldn't be surprised if he does actually pull something out the bag. Of course, he and Calvin are the two championship contenders for this year, and obviously they're going to go tooth and nail. That could be exciting later on today.
God, we're on board with his teammate now. You mentioned he had a bit of a moment early on, so a 46 on his opening lap, but he's able to go again. Hopefully his fuel light's flashing. I don't know, has he fueled enough? That is going to be the question as we make our way around the lap. He hasn't got much ERS, so that's going to really, really hurt him as we progress around, because the ERS, it does use a lot for a lot of braking, and it's the acceleration that uses the ERS around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's despite the fact you're on such a massive amount of braking and off throttle, recharge is really poor, but then that's because you're on such high acceleration, so yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah,
it doesn't seem to be gradual. It's literally, it's one of those that I call a point and squirt circuit, where it's a lot of right-handers, right-angled corners, and it's just there, get the car straightened up, and away you go once again. As we're on board with Ryan, let's have a look who we've got. Another person for the Calvin fan club. We need to ban these people, I'm sure.
We do. John Sargent, as I'm going to call him, is in the chat. Hello, John Sargent. He knows what I'm referring to. And Andrew's hello, Mr. Bitty.
Yes, he is in. Shetty Duck is one to watch. He's beaten you many times. Oh my God, can we not have him in tier 1, please? I don't need somebody else to beat me.
I did say Shetty Duck's a quick. Tell you what, he's going to be quacking at the heels.
He is.
Many. That's a poor pun.
It's, well, we're full of them. I'm waiting for Gav to pop himself up, and there's Ryan goes third with that on his second run and run out of ERS. A great lap from Ryan. He's another one that likes the high downforce circuits.
Yeah, if he had a full battery, that could have been really dangerous.
It really could. But let's have a look at the Aston of Chatty Duck, of Donald himself. He's gone purple in Sector 1. Kenny hopefully won't invalidate this time round. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead. Hopefully they're on a quick lap are going to be able to move out of the way along the straight here. I think it's an Alpine ahead who's going to be on a quick lap. But what's going to happen over the Anderson Bridge? This is where we have a bit of issue. It's a Ferrari in the way. Don't know who that one is at this moment. Oh, goes very slidey into that, but gets the car stopped in time. Yeah, Ferrari does move well out of the way and doesn't want to get involved. Let's have a look. Chatty Duck, what's he going to do as he comes through the middle sector? It's another purple middle sector. Could we be seeing an absolute stormer from the debutant this evening?
I think they might be in for something special here. 38 is definitely on the cards for quite a lot of drivers. Obviously, Barnstorp's a cracking lap it there.
Yeah, that was a banker as well, so that's there's more to come. Chatty Duck goes nice and neat through the bridge. Well, sorry, not through the bridge, under the stand in the stadium section. Uses every bit of track. That just looks superb. The car looks on rails, rides the curbs absolutely perfect. He doesn't invalidate. 38!
Wow.
5!
Okay, I think he's just announced his arrival. He's here. He's not messing around with the playoffs.
Wow. Wow.
I tell you what, if his name's anything to go by, he might be good in the wet too.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we don't have a forecast as yet, but Andrew's got a new helmet for tonight. It's okay. As you do, as you are.
Yeah. I tell you what, that time 38.5, that's going to make. I mean, obviously we're both tier 1 drivers. That's going to make a few of the tier 1 boys quiver, you could say.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So, I mean, I'm looking at that thinking. I mean, Hoseman 38.9. That's a very respectable time.
That is a great,
very good time.
Yeah, from Hoseman, missed that one.
That's going to be half a second off of Mr. Duck.
It is.
Yeah. Oh dear. What have we done? What have we done? We've invited a new person to the league, and oh dear God, why have we done this? Why do we?
I think JSR's got a lot to answer for. To be honest with you,
Sergeant, if he ends up winning both races tonight, which I think the last person to win back-to-back races in one day, I think that was LRL HSV. Mr. Stefan, he did that in Austria, I believe. Season 6, I think. So, if he wins tonight, both races, Jason, you owe us all many apologies.
Yes.
And beer.
Yes.
Anyway.
PO box. Send to PO box.
Yep. Or rum for Mark, because he likes it.
Is Chatty Duck secretly Alan Carr, the chatty man in disguise? Well,
Gav's awake then.
He is.
Oh dear. God,
to be fair, you've been quite. Oh, who was that? Gone straight on. That is Genie. On his outlap has had a big moment. Oh, and he's backed into the wall. That's going to cause wing damage, and he's already got front wing damage. He's going to be back into the pits with that one. Let's have a look who's on the next lap. Now have a look at this one. The guy who set the provisional pole time on a really quick time is Barnstop. Coming through the Anderson Bridge, heavy braking. This is a very strange camera angle that's now come out. It's not quite straight. It's looking at the right-hand front wheel. Don't really know what to make about that. It'd be good if they're battling, though. But he's 2 tenths down on his lap so far. It's not great. Tom Brown's popped it into second on a 38.8.
Wow, what a lap. Tom Brown's a bit of a one-lap specialist as well. He's definitely a quality master. Speaking of one-lap specialists, Sarge is already bitten back to our comments.
Yes, already.
Don't blame me. I've extended the invite to this great league to other people, but he's not a tier 2 racer.
I mean, you can't blame him for lying. It is a great league, if not the best. Yeah. And he isn't tier 2 though. Well, yeah, he's not really. Oh, who was that ahead of Alex that went straight on? There was a big lock-up. Is that Genie? No, it wasn't. I'm not sure who that may have been. Can JSR shake him? Time will tell tonight. We'll have Connor and the choir boy, I do believe, on Commons after this for tier 1. So don't miss that. But don't go anywhere just now. Calvin's now popped it up into second.
I have to wait and see if John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt's Sergeant can actually deliver.
Yeah.
Calvin that's a cracking lap. Chatty Duck. Sorry, mate, but you have to go out and do that again and find another half a second, because Calvin and Tom Brown are making you sweat in Singapore suddenly.
They are. We are a very, very competitive league, and we've seen this. Ant's 3 tenths up on his previous time. How is he getting on? He's 7 tenths up now. This could be a very respectable lap time. This could put him up into the top 5. Stringy B is retired from the session. Trying to look where... That looks like it's under the Anderson Bridge, actually.
It is, yes. It is just pulled the hairpin. He's lost it this very...
Oh, Sion Ranton's gone round. Oh, my days. That's a strange place to go, but... oh, my days. That is... What a good lap that could have been.
The curb there.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's done. He's got a bit too much on the curb.
As Ryan's now back into the pits, abandoned his lap, as well as a Haas of Call Me Maybe is also back into the pits. Who else is going to be on?
Improving at the moment.
Confetti,
but it's not a good one.
Yeah, Lope is nearly 3/10 up on his previous lap time as he comes through the Anderson Bridge, takes a wide line to get the braking in the straight line for the hairpin. Gets the power down, holds it in gear quite a long time. And he's 7/10 up as well, so the track is getting there for these drivers. This would be another good lap time. This could pop him close to the top 10.
I have to say, I was sceptical about Singapore when they first introduced it, but under the lights, these cars, it's just another level of awe.
It is, isn't it? I tell you now, I'm actually looking forward to seeing the liveries on Friday for the MRCX, because if you get the metallic liveries going on, that is going to look absolutely superb. If you get the colour scheme right, which I'm sure the drivers really will. Lope goes up into 11th with that one. Gav Anaconda, yep, and Dolores Van Cartier, it is for Tier 1.
Look how close it is actually between, if you look, obviously you've got Barnstop and Alex Jarrett both on a 39.3, and then 3/10 separate Ant in 9th and Jacob in 12th. A couple of tenths here or there, and you could jump quite a way up the grid.
Yeah, I've actually just got the gaps to the lead one there now, and yeah, you're right. You know, if Coleman maybe gets a good lap in, even Alex now we're on board with the other Aston Martin. If he gets a good lap in, he could really challenge Donald at the top.
Alex, again, over a single lap, Alex is possibly one of the fastest people in MRC, and it's just instance in the race what let him down. It's a shame because he is absolutely ridiculously quick. We've got a yellow flag just coming up turn 3. I think one of the AlphaTauris at the moment.
That is an AlphaTauri. That is Ant's going slowly just to let a few cars past.
Speaking of Ant, Gav's commenting on his sausage action, saying he clipped the sausage curb. Of course, Gav's picked up on that.
Of course.
No surprises there. Gav, you were telling us about the soup of some young man. If you want to tell us what sausages are the delicacy or the style of sausages common in Singapore, feel free to look it up and let us know. I'm sure you'll already know it. I'd like to know, actually. I quite like a sausage.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, confetti now. Finally got a lap in a 39.0 up into 5th. So good lap. Finally get myself on the board under pressure a little bit here. This is going to be the last laps for everybody now. Alex, let's have a look. He's in 7th. He's going to go now for his fast lap. Back into turn 1, turn 2. He could almost straight line, got a little bit twitchy through 3. Turn 4 is kind of almost flat out. It's not really a corner. You're setting yourself up for the braking of turn 5 and the exit of this. Very, very important. Gets the DRS wide open, and then through the flat out turn 6. There it is. There it was. And now heavy braking. Cannot get this one wrong. Into turn 7. Wow. And then you don't want to lout that curve, which he doesn't now. Turn 8. Another very tricky, very slow corner. Easy to get very much understeer through there. Turn 9. Before the straight now down in the middle of sector 2 as we go down to what used to be the Singapore sling, the old chicane. They got rid of that because everyone used to fly up that and hit the wall. And there's turn 10. Here's turn 11 and 12. We've just gone through there up onto the Anderson Bridge. This is now turn 13, the hairpin into the second DRS. Oh, clips the wall on exit. He has actually invalidated his lap time as well. So we're going to have to look on who we're going to look with at the moment. Well, I think we're going to have to look at Chatty Duck, aren't we?
Yeah, Chatty Duck's the man. Alex wasn't a perfect first sector, so he was absolutely flying up for that.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of traffic cars. Donald Duck ahead, and he is going into turn 10 now. Turn 11, takes that curve nicely. A little bit twitchy on exit into 5th to stop the rear from sliding. Heavy braking into turn 13. And here we go. This is where we stopped for the last lap, so let's go. Turn DRS wide open on the run down to the end of the second sector. What's he on his lap time? He's up a little bit on his lap time. Heavy braking, can run the car a little bit wide, get the gear up to stop it sliding through 14. 15 is almost that corner there to set yourself up for 16. Don't want to take too much curve, can really hurt you there into 17. He's gone round!
We spun.
I'm going to stop going on board with people.
He wasn't leaving anything on track. Calvin's only 100th down in the first sector, by the way.
Yes, we've just jumped on board with him.
He's on the competitive lap, just misses the ball down the exit from 8? Yes.
Yeah, 8. Tom Brown's gone into second, only a 10th behind Chatty Duck, so the pressure's on Calvin, but he's got a Williams ahead on a slow lap. Call me maybe is retired from the session. Calvin may be getting held up from this Williams here.
I think that might be Scratch.
Oh, Hosepipe, wow!
Wow, Hoseman, 38.4, that's an incredible lap.
Fantastic lap. We thought Chatty Duck had that nailed in the bag, and Tom Brown got closer, and the hose pipe has definitely tightened that nozzle, and he is absolutely shot to the top of the timing screens. Now we'll take provisional pole. What has Calvin got in the tank with this? Williams, that's supposed to put him off.
Calvin will be a very angry man right now. He will feel he's been impeded, regardless of what his time will be. He will feel he's been held up.
Yeah, and that will really have put him off there. I think that, yeah, it is. He's going to have to bail, I think, on this lap. He's going to finish the lap anyway. But who else is on the lap? Is Anton on a lap. He's coming on the last corner. He's gone a little bit quicker. And what's Anton going to do? He pops it into 5th. Great lap.
Good lap.
Great lap. And there we are. Qualifying the Singapore sling under the lights. It is Hosepipe takes pole position. Chatty Duck, made that error, made that slight mistake. He will take 2nd on his debut. Can't be too upset with that though. Tom Brown, great lap. He is 3rd. Calvin on 4th. Potentially had a little bit more in the tank. And Anton in 5th. Confetti Craig in 6th. Ryan, good lap, takes 7th. Barnstorp was the provisional pole early and didn't manage to hook 2nd lap up. And then we got Alex in 9th. DRS Julian didn't feature him actually in qualifying, but that was a great qualifying from him in 10th. Mr. Clean, Gene Genie in 11th. Call Me Maybe retired. He is in 12th. Rumax 13th, the first of the Mercedes drivers. And that allow Fire Rooster behind him in 14th. Monster in 15th. Where Dumas Hornet in 16th. Floppy Loppy 17th. Scream Benzema in 18th. Fanning in 19th. And Stringy B did not set the lap time. So let's have a look. Who have we got going on? What we got going on in the chat here, folks? Before we start this race, we are going to have, let's have a look. Singapore Swinging Sausage from Gav. The cream of some young man was Martin Hillshock a few seasons ago. You're right. It's stuck ever since. Predictions from Geke. What's your prediction here, Chris?
Tell you what, actually, this is hard to pick because Chatty Duck is ridiculously quick. We know that Hoseman. I'm going to go Hoseman. Hoseman's got some ridiculous pace, and then when he does keep it together, he's very hard to fight. So I'm actually going to stay with the poster to here.
I think you could be right with that one. He's got good. I'm going to go with. I'm going to put a little bit. I'm leaning towards Calvin a little bit.
Yeah, the only thing I've got here is Calvin has got a championship to consider. He doesn't need to push. He just needs to finish ahead of Fanning just to maintain that momentum. And
yeah, Fanning is on the back foot, not being able to practice as well, so he's going to this one a little bit blind. What have we got? Tom Brown for the wing, says Gav, Alex, and Calvin Penguin for the podium. Good call. Ryan for P4. That's not a bad prediction. Monster had a messy lap. Giban is with us in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Actually can't see how many people are actually watching tonight. Why has that gone off? Do a little refresh. 29 of you. Good evening. Welcome. Drivers now setting up their strategy, setting up their race fuel. Other little tweaks that they can do in Park Fermi. We have gone back to the formation lap as well, so we do have that to come. Here we are. So yes, predicted strategy is hard to mediums, medium hard. 2 stops. You mentioned this earlier, didn't you? That the pit lane is quite, well, it's long.
It's very long and slow. The entrance and the exit are both very tedious too, so yeah, you lose a lot of time. I think 26 seconds, I messaged it earlier, it was 26 seconds was what I was losing my pit stop.
Yeah.
Which is a huge amount to make up if you want to get that extra stop and do a 2-stop. But, you know, it's doable, but you've got to have some ridiculous pace.
I think it's down to safety car, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 to 8 laps on the soft tyres realistically. Any more than that and you're probably a bit of a silly sausage. Mediums, mid-teens is fair, and the hards can probably do nearly the full race distance.
Yeah, they might be a bit slippery during the course of that. They do go through like a little bit of a slippery graining phase, but that's not put off a few drivers. We've got most of the field on the hard tyres. Tom Brown, Calvin, Barnstorp, Dumas Hornet, and Fanning and Sungaby on the mediums. Everyone else on the hard tyres. So it's kind of status quo with that, you'd think. There's a few people gone for that alternate strategy, so Calvin and Tom Brown off the line in that early lap or so is going to really pay dividends. And of course, that turn 1, turn 2 we saw yesterday, there's a little bit of argy-bargy in the reality race, and hopefully we don't have that. Hopefully we don't have a repeat of what happened a few years ago with what was Force India at the time, the Pink Panthers nudging one another into the walls. Hopefully we're keeping it nice and clean. And to be fair, with MRC, when it comes down to street tracks, everyone is normally a little bit better behaved, you'd have to say.
Yeah, it's weird, because this is where you'd expect there to be more chaos, and yet it's like that massive thing along the side of the track that makes up a wall somehow gets in everyone's head. Although, that said, if someone does make a mistake and lose it, obviously there's more chances there's going to be some collateral, and obviously that does cause a few upset faces, but that's racing.
It is, yeah. We saw that in Miami on Wednesday night. The stewards have been looking at the race directors to say how we can improve, of course. And that's what we're always doing in MRC, looking at ways to improve how we operate and how we run, but that will come in time as we grow and get bigger and bigger. Hosepipe disqualifies, didn't get his time out, neither did Chatty Duck. And let's have a look who Tom Brown disqualified from the session. Is everybody going to line up on the right spot? Red didn't.
As MRC's resident idiot with regards to stupid positioning on the grid, I can tell you now, it does not benefit you, it does not help, and actually it makes everything so much harder. Just don't do it, just line it up straight. I do it every time, and every time I cock it up. I
do it as well, but here we are, folks. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on, and we go racing! Slightly, that was a bit of a glitch. Are we going? There we go.
There we go.
Well, that was a cliffhanger. Oh, there's drivers all over the place. People got to the lights, but got the jump. Tosman got a lightning start and runs very, very wide. So does Chatty Duck. Calvin's got the jump. Tom Brown really put that down to 6th. Concretti Craig, there's a big crowd. What's going on there? Concretti Craig has managed to get past everybody and up into 2nd. Calvin's fighting with Anton as well. Anton on his big crashes off and Tommy round.
Oh, Alex has gone on the back of Tom Brown. Chatty Duck lost it coming out of turns.
Oh, there's a big crash further down. That's Tom Brown's out. There's biz carnage.
Oh, wow. That will be reviewed later. Tom Brown had a huge collision. I'm not sure who it was with, but it's a huge collision. It might have been Hornet.
Yeah, Julian, no front wing. Ryan got
at turn 7.
Punted. There's absolute carnage, which rightly so got a full safety car.
Oh, wow. That was... What was that we were just saying about people being really clean and not colliding in the street circuits? I think that just went out the window. I have to say, Chatty Duck lost the rear coming out of turn 3. That wasn't anything contact-wise, he just looked like he lost a bit of traction. That created a big concertina, and I think everything just stemmed from that. That's not his fault, of course, but everyone was then side by side going into turn 4, 5 and 6, and as we all know, eventually that bottlenecks.
It does. There's going to be a few pit stops for damage. I believe there was a lot of carnage. There's Monster with no front wing as well. Thomas Horn has a 5-second penalty for the collision with Monster. Fanning's made a few places in all the carnage. Laupy, no visible damage. Has no visible damage. Scratch, no visible damage. And ringing up the rear is Anton. Oh, so unlucky for him. So unlucky. But Hoseman, what a good getaway he got. His second phase, it looked quite even to start, and then he seemed to just get that second phase hooked up, load the wheel spin, and just fired off. Was unchallenged into turn 1, went a bit deep through 2, but that was still a really good start. Confetti managed to avoid the damage. Calvin, I think, got caught up in a touch. But there's a few drivers seem to avoid it. People are staying out. Who's going to pit? There's going to be quite a few people there. Alex, I think, had a bad wing. This is, I think it seems to be like the damage hasn't caused too many people too many problems.
It's remarkable. Obviously, you've got Alex, Julian, Monster, and Scratch on the pitch. Anthony's on the way in, and obviously Tom Brown's out of the race. He's quite annoyed from what I can see in Discord. Not surprising, really. I'm just going to say it now. There was a lot of people being very aggressive there and not wanting to leave any room, not accommodating for the fact that at a race start you've got a lot of people on cold tyres side by side and on heavier fuel than they used to be. You've got to leave more room, you've got to be a bit more using of your survival instincts rather than your attacking instincts, and that was not adhered to. So we'll see about that later in the series, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we will, yeah. But we do call all of our drivers, please do not start shouting things out in Discord with call-outs. Anything like that, it can only lead one way and it's not good for you. So, but let's come back to the race that we have at the moment under safety car lights. And you're right, it was very aggressive, that start from a few people. You're right, cold tyres, heavy fuel, but not always there. We saw the top two into turn one running wide and not having that front end grip that they expected to be there through qualifying. But you know, I think unfortunately Jamie Bithell, your first lap DNF bingo at lap 9 didn't even last 9 corners, my friend.
Huge shame.
Yeah.
Tom, as I said in qualifying, in terms of one lap pace, is absolutely ridiculous. He has got good race pace, but he has had a lot of bad luck in terms of getting caught up in all sorts during races, which doesn't necessarily give him the best results sometimes. So
I agree, and that's the key there, isn't it? Bad luck. And Tom, I've raced wheel to wheel with him, and we both have many times, and he is decent wheel to wheel. He's hard but fair sometimes, and which you know you need to be to win and score points and potential championships, etc. in MRC. And he is hard but fair. You're right, that just bad luck he seems to have, and it doesn't always seem to be, you know, it's not always his mistake that leads to it either. I think it's just really bad luck for him.
Championship permutations right now, obviously Calvin and Fanning are the two leaders in this tier for the championship. But Calvin's in P3, he managed to just about stay out of the carnage at the start. Yes, Confetti Praise got past him, but you know, he's still in a respectable position. Fanning is not in the points at present, so that's huge for the championship.
Yeah, a big jump from Fanning from 19th has come up into 12th already. Let's have a quick look at those position changes while we're under safety car. Where we went, there we are. Confetti up 4 places, so it was a great start from him. Avoided the damage, went through people who were just a little bit tentative, and he got it hooked up. Barnstop up 3, Woolmax up 6 places. Other winners, Genie, Call Me Maybe up 3, Fire up 4, Thomas Hornet up 5, but of course got a 5-second penalty to come later in the race when he decides to take his pit stop. Fanning up 7 places, mentioned a great start from him. Little Floppy Loppy up 4, Stringy B, who started at the back without a lap time. He is in 14th, up 6 places, and Scratch is up 1 from his starting position from 18th up to 17th. So there's a lot of winners in that. The only real loser is Chatty Duck. Of course, got caught up a little bit in that melee, and of course then Julian lost his front wing. Monst, Anton and Alex as well really got caught up in it, and big losers from that, of course. Unfortunately, Tom Brown with a DNF.
Yeah, again, obviously Tom's been vocal in Discord. Obviously we do advise people not to be, but at the same time we all get emotional and the adrenaline flows. He's going to be disappointed having been in a good place from quali, so yeah, I can understand the frustration.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there, haven't we? Safety car is in this lap. Now Horseman and Confetti Craig will be trying desperately to warm up those hard compound tyres. Calvin's on the mediums, so watch for him getting the heat into those tyres very, very quickly, and he will be putting pressure, I'm sure, with, you mentioned there, the championship hanging in the balance to try to close that gap to Fanning, currently outside of the points as it stands. So, the question is, when does Horseman go? He's bunching the pack up really tightly, trying to cool people's tyres down, and you'd have to say he's going to take the wide line, get the car straight to take advantage, and he's gone, and he's lost it!
He's gone! Oh,
he has gone, he's gone, cold tyres. Oh my days, and he's going to drop to the back, but that's allowed Confetti Craig to get through Calvin as well. Absolute disaster, you're right from there.
Controversial thing, did he cross the safety car line, or has the whole grid just been risking a penalty? No one's got a penalty from what I can see.
Once he starts to go, it says prepare to resume racing, and that is pretty much your green flag to go, I found. Not revealing any secrets, but you know.
Tell you what, I'm just on board with Hostman now. He's making a move on Alex already. Despite the fact that he dropped to the back, he was at the inside of turn 7.
Oh, and someone's locked up massively ahead. I think that was Genie, but look, they're still side by side. Genie's slow going into there. Oh, there's nearly a touch with Alex. I think there may have been, but that caught him slightly napping. Genie's struggling to get the heat in those tyres. He dropped way down the order.
We've got a collision between Calvin and Confetti Craig up front as they go into the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah, well, we've just
No
jumped
damage,
on back. We missed it, but look at this. Calvin's trying the switch back. Is he going to have the run on Confetti? He's going to be using as much of his ERS as he can. Is he going to go for a look at the inside? Oh, he's not. Just about. I bet his heart was in his mouth there, trying to get the car stopped in time before he... No, I'm not going to say it. Went into the back of. I was going to say something else.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've just noticed Ryan in P5, obviously he's having a good race so far, he's up to P5, doing well. Barnstorp though, he's a Tier 4 driver who's reserving today in Tier 2. P4, yes he's on the medium so he's going to have some good pace, but he's looking very racing on the back of Chatty Duck and obviously Calvin and Confetti up front. He's in the mix for something here. I was doing some practice with him earlier today actually, and you know what? Barnstorp looked quick, he was consistent, and you know what? We like that. We like that someone stepping up a few tiers can mix it with bigger guns.
Yep, further down, Dumas Horn has dropped to the back. He's gone round. Anton and Kareem Benzema are having a little bit of a dice. They've dropped Ryan, though. I know Ryan's on the hard tyres, maybe struggling again to get that heat into them, but he's dropped 2 seconds off the back of Barnstorp, which is something to measure. But look at this, Calvin pulls out of the slipstream, no DRS left. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? Is it going to be the medium short Ferrari? It is, or has a little bit more grip. Confetti Craig gave him room, was very respectful there. Hopefully didn't contact through that though. Through turn 7? I think I'm losing track of the tyre numbers. But there we are. Calvin on the medium tyre is going to look to scamper away and try to build a gap. But I tell you now, Confetti Craig is under pressure from Chatty Donald Duck. Well, hopefully he's got some pants on. Right, Donald. If he's wearing a top and a hat, well, I suppose it is our home. He'll be allowed.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Just noticed Jacob's made a few moves through the field. He's up to P8 now on Mercedes.
Yeah. Still behind his teammate, Will Max, who's hounding Ryan, who's holding that gap at 2 seconds currently.
Yes. We've got Fanning just behind, he's now at P9, the Stringy B just behind him. Fanning is slowly making his way through the grid as well. Ooh, Jacob's a bit deep into the chicane there, so these guys are a little battered.
That's a little bit, lock up from Call Me Maybe as well. I think I might have actually been, it might be Virus who's dropped off the back of Call Me Maybe. And
extending now.
He is got a second now, broken that all-important DRS, which is going to be activated this lap. Oh, as Virus got very, very squirrely. That's just allowed Fanning an easy overtake. As that will allow Stringy B, and that has to go through. It is. Jacob got very squirrely through the last corner. Very easy to do, as we saw, unfortunately, with Hosman, who was up down to 17th, but very easy to do. Now, this is going to be a seriously good battle now. Fanning 2.4 off the back of Maybe. Is he going to be able to close that gap? He has got the medium tyres on, but so does Stringy B behind in the Haas. Stringy B is going to have the DRS wide open. Look at him closing the Haas. Fanning goes defensive. Do a try around the outside. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Fanning just... Oh, what a great move from Stringy. Got the car stopped. And the grip he had was absolutely fantastic.
Just Chatty Duck just made a fantastic move up the inside of turn 7 with DRS and Confetti Craig. And he's just slowly edging away as he comes to the Anderson Bridge. Barnstorp now looks like he's going to have a go at Confetti. He's on the medium tyre, so he's got a bit more traction.
Yeah, he does. He seems to get a cleaner exit there, doesn't he, as well, into the second DRS zone. But Confetti has it at the moment. But Calvin's going to see the Chatty Ducks there. He knows he's going to be quick. Barnstorp. Oh, yeah, of course. Barnstorp's not using assists either.
Barnstorp was running elite, yeah. He's had a little bit of contact with Lorpy, Monster, and Ant. Obviously, they're all getting very dicey in the midfield.
Yeah, they are. There's a little gap from Fire Booster. Lopi has got the Ferrari all up the back of him. Don't want to be Singapore stuffed from a Ferrari, so he's going to try to pull away and get through. Fire Booster, we saw that moment on the last lap, which allows Stringy and Fanning through. Stringy be tiny closing the gap, but Calvin's pulling away up front. Confetti's dropped off the back, so this could allow Barnstorp now to just wheel him in a little bit, knowing that that gap is over 1 second, and that going to be DRS assisted very, very soon as we go through the next 2 corners. I can't believe we're only on lap 7. I feel like we'll be going on this for ages with the action that's been taking place.
I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. There's too much going on.
Welcome to Tier 2.
DRS of Confetti Craig.
Yeah, he didn't get a very good run through 4 and then through 5, so kind of Confetti let off a little bit. The gap's starting to widen a little bit. Womax has got a bit of pressure from Call Me Maybe. Stringy B just closing that gap in a touch, only by a tenth or so with Fanning, and then Fibers has dropped off the back, and he's got quite a train, you'd have to say, behind him. He's got Floppy Loppy. I'm going to have to come up with a nickname for Monster. Really need something. We've got Anton Dubek, we've got Julian Clary. Hosepipe is on his charge back through the field. Use a lot of his ERS though to get up to 15th, and we've got Mr. Clean and Qatari Alex as well on the back of that. So quite a long train, all the way from 10th down to 17th. Who's that? That's Anton and Monster.
Anton through Monster.
Yeah.
Wow, what battling. They're both very late on the DRS there, so they're both very twitchy on the exit, clearly. Trying to get power down.
And you've still got, now got the inside. Oh, they go! Don't even know where to go with that one. Loppy locked up. Monster nearly went at the back, ran wide himself, and a little bit of contact with Anton. And I think that's Fire Boosters locking up now. Cars locking up left, right, and centre as they are pushing to the limits. Oh, it's another lock up from the Williams.
We've got a yellow flag.
It's Johnny Duck. Johnny Duck's gone round. Outside, he did that in qualifying, same place as he did in qualifying, and coming out of turn 21.
Yeah, and now he's got Stringy B up the inside of turn 1. Nope, just hangs on for now.
Yeah.
We've got another yellow flag. Who else has gone round? It's
one.
Monster. Monster's.
Oh, he has.
Monster lost it at the final corner. Easily done. Very easy lose it there.
It is. Loppy's had a moment. What's happened to Floppy Loppy? There's 3-4 abreast again, going into turn 4. 5 even. Who's going to have the DRS? We're all going to have the DRS. Oh, that's a bit close. That's a little bit close. Julian Clary.
Anton is on the inside of Jacob.
He is. We're looking at that from the back of the Alfa Romeo's also then got the Williams who made the pass. Oh, Jacob's locking up left, right and centre. He's dropping down and down and down the field. Cannot get those medium tyres, the hard tyres Jacob's on to work at all. Fanning's got past Chatty Duck. You got Chatty Duck all over him. He's still resuming that battle with Stringy B, who's still got Fanning gets a big one, but no way through on the Anderson Bridge. So you've got to be very, very brave. Fanning goes very deep. He's going to really compromise the exit. Is Chatty Duck going to have it? With the DRS wide open.
He's quacking at his heels. Stop making this joke.
Oh, big contact! Stay down! Big contact!
I think they both
Fanning into a wall as Fanning got damage. He thinks he got away with damage on that one, but he just seemed to outbrake himself.
Fanning looks a bit wide in that chicane. I think there might be damage. Tell you what, they're both very aggressive. Fanning's in the wall at the bridge. They're trying to even. Yeah,
he's struggling as Fanning. He's going through that. We mentioned this off air, that there is, we felt, a bit of a graining phase that you go through as Fanning's going to have to box. He thinks he's got damage. He feels like he has. That's so lucky. He's having a fantastic race on the back of Stringy B. Ryan's dropping off the pace of Barnstop, but he's pulled away from, call me maybe, at the moment. Barnstop's still there behind Confetti, who's now got 5.8 seconds to catch up to Calvin, who is absolutely streaking ahead at the moment.
Yeah, Confetti Craig and Barnstop have both been using their ERS a lot. Barnstop's used more of it and is in DRS, so it looks like Barnstop's just hanging on to Confetti with the DRS and the ERS and slipstream.
Yeah, and using the medium tyres as well.
Yeah, I think the mediums are starting to. This is where the mediums start to tail off and the hards will come good.
Yeah, they start to come back. They've gone through that graining phase around lap 7, lap 8. We saw Fire was just struggling with them. And then they do come back a little bit, and then you manage to drive round that understeery phase. And then they kind of come back to you a little bit. Oh, Barnstop goes very deep.
Wow, that was a send. I'm going to throw out there. I'm really impressed with Barnstop. His actual name is Toby. He's obviously a Tier 4 driver who's running no assists, like you mentioned, in Tier 2, and he's very competitive.
Yes. So, yeah.
I mean, we know Confetti Craig's a Tier 3 driver as well, who's regularly stepped to Tier 2 and looked quick, so it's a good benchmark. And both these guys from lower tiers are doing a great job. Good to see.
Yep, yeah. It really is good to see, and that's what we encourage as the drivers from low tiers. Reserve in the higher ones. Get yourself. There's no pressure. Put yourself against what could potentially be quicker drivers than you, and just see where you stack up. Because at some point you may go up anyway, so it can't hurt. Now we've got a little bit of a DRS behind Colby. Maybe he's dropped to 2 seconds now behind Red Car, and Gav set him for P4, and he's currently sitting P4 quite comfortably. You'd have to say at this stage on the hard tyres. Call Me the Brave is under pressure from Woomax and Stringy B. Anton in 8th on his own a little bit. I thought there was something. I thought he was with Chatty Duck, and Chatty Duck has now pitted off the hard tyres. So let's have a look at the boys who have pitted, and let's have a look, see what tyres they're on. Fanning is now on the hard tyres, starting on the mediums, of course. 21 laps is doable, but you mentioned, yeah, well, Chatty Duck's on the mediums, he started on the hards. Now, that's not going to go to the end, is it?
No, I think the most you could do is 20 laps, and yes, technically there's 21 laps to go, so we could do it, but they'll be absolutely at risk of a puncture by that point, so I would strongly recommend not doing it.
Yep. Oh, what's happening? There's DRS Julian. He has DRS Julian's gone round outside of turn 8, I think it is, and he's had that moment. That's a very difficult place to kind of recover it as well, as we found with a 10-point turn. And he's now down. He's having a really good race so far. I tell you what, Anton didn't realise he pitted early. He's on the soft tyres.
Yeah, I think he pitted the safety car. He pitted at the same time. I think it was Scratch pitted with him. But obviously, I think it was Scratch anyway. But it's not quite worked. The softs obviously don't last. I think you get 8 to 10 laps if you're lucky, and then they're absolutely terrible.
Well, hopefully you start on the medium, so if you can go to the hard tyres after that, that'll just allow him to go to the end. Up ahead, Calvin, 7.6 seconds he has now got as a lead over Confetti. Still, oh my days! We mentioned the soft tyres.
I think those softs have just about probably hit the cliff.
Yeah, I think so, and that's a strange place to go on. He's obviously kissed the inside curb there, which and just got very happy on the throttle, and it's just lost that rear. He's struggling through the last corner. He's gone round at the last corner and lighting the rears up to get in it, facing the right way, and that is really going to hurt him. Oh my days. We'll move on from that because I don't like. No one wants to see that, and this is going to be a little battle now. Again, right up behind Fire Roosters, we've got Floppy Loppy on the inside of the DRS assist. Going to make it quite easy. He does. Fire Roosters struggling all the way. Everyone using the ERS quite a lot through there. We've got Hosepipe is up again. He is now fighting back, of course, from that safety car restart. That really, really hurt him. We've got Genie in the Elder Hornet as well.
So Chatty Duck and Julian are just coming out of the pits. Opposite strategies, Duck on the hard, so he'll probably go to the end, and Julian on the soft, so he's definitely will pit again.
Well, Chatty Duck's pitted again. I wonder if he's had another moment. He did just pit. He pitted early and put the mediums on, didn't he? We just discussed that. Yeah, so he's gone in again, which he started on.
Yes. So he can go to the end. It'll be a bit tight. Confetti Craig is past Barnstorp, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Barnstorp's past Confetti Craig, even it's the wrong way around.
Oh, Confetti Craig's got no front wing.
No wing. Yes, Craig's put it in the wall.
He has, and gifted that position to Barnstorp, who was just dropping off over a second as well from him. So yes, he's had to go. So that's allowed Ryan to come up. He's closed that gap. He was over 3 seconds now, 2.6. So maybe Barnstorp got put off because that gap's now as well 9.2 to Calvin, or 9 seconds, I should say now. Must have put him off a little bit, and it's really hampered. Who's that? That's a Mercedes round. It is. It's Fire Rooster Jacobs gone round outside the last corner.
I've just noticed, obviously, Confetti Craig's had to pit, obviously, for the mediums now, as he was on the hards and in the new wing. He's not going to make it to the end on the medium there without a lot of difficulty. It's going to be very tight for him. So yeah, that's him in terms of the race win with Calvin, the fight with Barnstorp for the podium. He's going to have a lot of work to do now.
Yes, Genie and Horseman having a bit of a battle a little bit there on Ding Dong. Genie's got past the hosepipe. Alex has now got the fastest lap of the race. Wow. A 43.6. That's a good lap as well.
Very good lap. Anything in the 44s, 43s is a very good lap at this stage of the race. Getting to low 41s, 42s later in the race is definitely doable. 39 if you're on the soft maybe, but yeah, very competitive time.
Yeah, as Jamie said, Calvin's flying like an owl. He's got a Falcon, he's got an Eagle at the moment. 4.5 stretching that gap over Ryan, who's going to try to extend his stint over Call Me Maybe, and maybe see what he can do about Barnstorp, who's showed absolutely fantastic pace this evening. And this is just the battle that's going to keep going on, this midfield battle. We've seen a few mistakes, few people drop out due to tyre wear and slight couple of mistakes as well, but this battle with Floppy, Loppy, Genie, Hosepipe as Loppy really locks up once again. Not going to do those tyres any good at all.
Oh, he's gone again. Roos has gone again.
Oh no.
I think. Oh no, has he? Apologies, it's Womax. It's not the Roos.
Womax has gone. Yeah, Womax has gone outside. That's gone. He's lost his front wing as well.
Safety car,
and he's good at it. Is full safety car. So the person that picked it was Stringy B. This is going to help him. Now then, what are the leaders going to do? Is it time? Let's have a look.
Calvin and Barnstable have got to pit for the hards. This is the first lap of where the hard tyre, so the medium tyre, the hard tyre strategy would work. So it's great timing for them. But Calvin would be fuming. He's got nearly 10 seconds to Barnstable.
Yeah.
And obviously we've seen everyone behind him has had to pit for damage or spins, etc. So actually, this is a nightmare for Calvin. A VSC would have been much better.
It is, and if you look, Loppy's got a Colmy, maybe he's got a Womax has now retired. Oh my, that's so unlucky for him. He was having a really good race up there with Colmy, maybe, and he's got a big gap. Maybe he's got quite a big gap to Loppy, so he will pit and get out. I think it's about 15 seconds under, maybe 16 seconds under safety car conditions, so he'll be able to get in and out before he even comes round if he decides to stay out. So I expect some of the hard tyre winners to come in, I think, just because you've got a couple of laps. It's going to be quite a few laps, I would say, for this to be sorted out. And you have to say, pit for the hards, even the guys that pit for the mediums, potentially now a couple of laps under would help. Oh my days, diffuser and floor damage on the Roosters Merc from the lap 1. Oh my days, that's no wonder he's spinning like a spinning top. That's difficult too. It's irreparable as well.
Yeah, so Calvin is, as predicted, Calvin's in. He's going to pop the hard. He's going to get a hard on.
Yes.
Barnstable also, he's in for a hard on.
Ryan's decided to stay out.
Yeah, Ryan is on the hard tyre, so in all honesty, he could put the medium on here and gamble.
Yeah, but he's missed his chance now. He has missed that opportunity.
It'll be a very slippy car at the end if he was to have put the mediums on. So, as much as he is the tyre whisperer, he's clearly not fancying that, and there's very likely to be another safety car. We know how treacherous this track can be. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. I think the only problem he's got is Calvin will go flying past him on the much newer tyres, but then Lorpy and Genie in the mix just behind could hold up the other guys. So
exactly, that Barnstop's could potentially get held up by those guys. Maybe he's on the medium, so he's, call me the wimpy boy. He's in the mix here for a really strong finish now. He's paid for the mediums. Yes, they will be difficult towards the end. He's got to look after them under safety car conditions. Swingy B is looking good. Confetti, this is a lifeline for Confetti and Hosepipe.
Yes, this brings them back into. Well, those two were on for a podium at least. In the case of Hosepipe, he was looking like a potential winner. I mean, I'd put him down as my race winner.
Yeah, he was.
Now. Anyway, obviously, you're right. This is really brought him back into play, which is ultimately the good thing about the safety car. Alex Ujeric again was looking competitive early on. Obviously, had that collision on the first lap. He's now back, obviously, in the mix. Chatty Duck down to 16th. He's going to be disappointed with that. Obviously with the events earlier on, with the spins, etc. But again, see what he can do. He's on the oldest tyres, well, the second oldest tyres, I should say, of anyone on the grid. So he's going to have a lot of work to get back through.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It is. It's all to play for. I think we're going to have at least another lap behind the safety car whilst Julian catches up. And it's been a race of varying strategies, quite a few battles, some quite clean, some few errors, which makes it not so clean, some of the battles. But I think so far it's been quite a good race, and Tier 2 again, not short of entertainment factor.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously we've seen some interesting moves so far, which is great, and controversy, but who knew?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of hoping Tier 1's a bit of a quieter affair. I like.
Yeah, as long as I'm at the front end of it, I don't mind.
Yeah, as long as I don't get caught up in it, which I normally end up being. But we'll see. We shall see. And of course, we're going to see Chatty Duck in there as well. I think one or two of the other drivers are going to be, I think Calvin's in reserving as well. Just to mention too, what's happened there? Chatty Duck and Monster. Oh, Monster's pitted now. He's only done one lap on those hard tyres. I like the fact that the Ferrari team have now got the... he's lost his wing. Maybe he's spun it on the cold tyres. And he's lost his front wing. He's gone on the soft compound tyres.
They will not last to the end from here. They will not last. I tried this earlier against some AI, just because I'm not afraid of admitting this, because obviously if anyone wants to try it, I'll be my guest. But I tried it earlier just out of the principle of, could you be cheeky and stretch them? No, you cannot. Single figures for the soft tyres. And obviously we have 16 laps to go after this one, so no chance.
Yeah, it is going to be very, very difficult for him. DRS is now retired. Julian Clary is retired from the session in the pit lane. He has.
Yep.
And again, it's another one. We do encourage drivers not to. Andrew there could have. Not having the race to remember, but he's still keeping on going. Anton there as well. Just got to wait for these two drivers. You'd have to say to catch up. Sometimes the safety car does decide to go, nope, stuff it, you've had your chance. But this part of the race, we'll see the safety car come up for another lap, give the Monster time to catch up to the back of the pack.
Yeah, obviously just a quick reminder, we're not going to name names, but we've seen an incident where a driver retiring in the pits. Of course, we understand why people do, but we do ask people to keep racing. The safety cars are proof of the pudding that ultimately you don't know what's going to happen, and anything can happen. So please don't get retired in the pits. Keep fighting, keep driving. Show us what you can do.
Exactly. I mean, you look at Horseman, you look at Confetti. I think Chatty Duck's had an issue. He's now got 13 laps on those hard tyres because he did pit and he's had to put the hards back on. He's pretty much stuck to another stop, you'd have to say. Is there any more stops? Yeah, he's had 2 already. You think you'd have to pit again. Alex is on his 3rd stop and up into 11th actually as well. So it's not going too bad for our Qatari friend there. And this is it, you know, like I said, people are going to catch up. Andrew should catch up this lap, so I think the safety car will see coming in this lap with 15 racing laps left. So those on the fresh hard tyres will be able to go to the end. Mediums may stretch now, just with a couple of laps, and like you say, if there is another one. Ryan's going to be the cork in the bottle, you may have to say, with Calvin, but Loppy and Genie behind again on those hard tyres. Barnstop is going to have to... I thought Call Me the Babe was behind Barnstop, maybe I missed that.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Well, the fact that they're on the same pit strat now is alarming, because Barnstop was definitely in P2 behind Calvin.
Yeah. I'm guessing everyone's on about Toby. I'm guessing that's Barnstop.
Yes, Toby is Barnstop. So
he has front damage apparently.
Oh, that's a disaster. So that might have been recovered in the pit lane, but I hope so.
Hopefully. Yeah, I hope so.
Why he's behind Mr. Brave.
Yeah, maybe he went straight on and locked up and trying to warm his brakes up and went straight on. And if he's off track for long, you are allowed to take, so Brave or maybe may have done that.
Perhaps, yeah. It's hard to mention Singapore without speaking of all the crashes, without Crashgate of 2008.
Oh, what happened there? That was a big glitch from Gene. He hit the wall and then suddenly he was back in the middle of the track. But we'll skip over that. But, Alex has gone. Alex has retired from the session. What happened there? He's in the wall. He's tried to warm his tyres up and hit the wall, but the safety car is also coming in this lap.
Oh wow, is that a Crashgate saga?
Yeah, it could be. You had to jinx it.
The safety car. Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone.
I did it in quali 3 times, so you know.
I'm just going to blame the Hodgie magic. I'm just a mere squire today.
Right, so right now the de facto safety car letting it go ahead. Are we going to see a clean getaway? We saw Hosepipe 140 spin out the last corner. Is there going to be enough heat in the tyres? He's not letting the safety car go too far. He's going to go very, very late. Let's go on board. What's going to happen with Ryan? Is he going to keep Rise behind? And now he goes and power down, and he does keep it straight, keeps hitting it on the black stuff. But he's not dropped Calvin. Calvin's with him. Look at this further back, though. They've got Call Me the Brave having a quick look further back. There's a little bit of contact. It's gone round as Calvin went round!
It looked like Calvin hit the back of Ryan, and then a thing got tangled after that. Oh, we got harsh rounds. That Stringy B's got round, I think. Yep,
oh my days, they got Loppy and Call Me the Brave horse by Barnstop's had a poor start as well. Don't know if he got caught up in something put off by someone. But look at this, Genie
Wow.
has got Loppy up the back, who's also got Comey maybe next to him. This is all over there. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Who's going to be brave? And it's not the Wimpy boy. Let's move on. There's another one going round. What's happening further back? This tyre smoke. This locked brakes. Charlie Duck's up to 10th. Calvin now.
We've got an Alpha Tauri straight on.
Oh, that is that's Anton.
Turn
Anton
eight.
de Beck's gone straight on. Monsters back up into 13th, battling with Fire Rooster, the Fire Cockle. Calvin's now in 11th, outside the points, but Fanning, his title rival, up into 6th spot. This is a fantastic race from Fanning, starting near the back of the grid. Really playing his cards right. Barnstop and Confetti created the fault early on, and now look at this side by side. Confetti gets the run. Is Barnstop going to fight back? He's not. Please don't lock up and hit the back. He didn't. All nice and clean. Did lock up though. All nice and clean. But now Confetti's on the medium tyres. They're going to be up to speed a lot quicker. Now Genie again. These are guys on the hard tyres that are a little bit old. Oh, Ryan, a little bit of a lock up. Manages to get it stopped under the stadium section. We've got absolute carnage, absolute mental racing all the way through. Do not go anywhere. We've still got how many laps left? 14 laps to go. Anything can happen. Anything can happen Mondays. Look at this. I'll call me the Brave underneath the rear wing of Floppy Loppy with hosepipe ready to have a look. Is he gonna have a look? Oh, he's wimped out again.
Tell you what,
sorry, bro, I couldn't resist.
You love it. You love it.
It's too easy. It's too easy. Hosepipe having a quick look as well. He's not able to do it. Fanning's holding on the back, but he's under pressure from Confetti as well now. Oh, look at this. We've got the Haas. We've got everybody side by side. Confetti already got the drive. Is he going to be able to go past Julian? Gone from the session. Where happened to... Oh, he's out already. He just left the session. Oh, Confetti went a little bit deep. That's all did Hosepipe. There's a little bit Continue effect. Blooming heck.
They're all, it's Lorpy's the cork in the bottle, as you like to say, and they are all chomping at the bit to get past him. Connor would say they're up his chuff.
Yep, they certainly are. He is. I think he'll be watching though, I'm sure he is. But Loppy, yeah, you're right. He's got the used hard tyres on. They are going to be really struggling, even if they're warm by now. Scratch and Chatty Duck having a battle further down. We've got Call Me the Brave on the mediums. He's going to be reeling in the ones up ahead, and you have to say at this moment in time, with Loppy being there, as you mentioned, the cork in the bottle, as we got Hosepipe trying to go on the outside. Who's going to be able to get it stopped? Loppy, wow, just about, but that's up the door for Confetti. He's trying to go on the outside, which then will turn into the inside line. He just makes it. Wow, good racing. Fantastic racing from Confetti there. Nice and clean as well. Had to get that done. Notice Hosepipe's got slightly newer tyres. I think Hosepipe's just hit the wall ahead.
Oh wow, no way. I'm just looking at Hoseman now. It looks like the wing's okay, but of course this game's very deceptive with that.
Yeah, who was that in the pits? Genie's had enough of those hard tyres. He's decided to bail on after 17 laps. Ryan going on ahead, just outside of that DRS zone. Monster gets a penalty, and he's also... who else is that that's just gone in the pits? I sure saw somebody else. No, I did Scratches in the pits as well.
I think Ryan's waiting for the hards. I think to go to softs. Personally, he's going to wait for a safety car, or maybe lap 24 to 26 to go on the softs. That's my bet here.
You could be right. He does like to do that. He does like to do something completely different to everybody else.
That's a good call right now.
Yeah. Confetti's still got Loppy in there. Fanning, Calvin on the charge back as well. Fanning, he pitted early for those. He was one of the first ones to get rid. Oh, Barnstop with the penalty. He's so unlucky. But he's dropped down the order now, currently in 8th place, but in this train behind Confetti, who he's going to be trying to close and carry on with the hosepipe.
Call Me the Brave right now on those newer tyres needs to really get past Ryan. If he wants to win this race, he's got to get past Ryan. The hope that the hoseman that is Sander doesn't get through so easily. Obviously, we know Hoseman's a very aggressive racer.
Yeah.
Call Me the Brave, again, very aggressive as well. So if one doesn't get past, the other one will probably take both of them.
Yeah, Fanning must have been outside of DRS. Sorry, my friend. I think just looking at this Fanning and Calvin battle, he's on fresher tyres. He's all over the back of the McLaren, of course, championship rivals as well. Fanning a bit of a lock-up going into that. Calvin's used a lot of his ERS. I think looking at that, he has only 10% left already. Fanning got 40% left, but he's all over the back, pushing him out the finals. And this is, he's put Fanning was in DRS and didn't use his DRS around the previous straight yet. Ryan now, what's happened to Ryan? Has he gone round? He did. He's out in the pits. That's what happened. Thank goodness for that. I'll shut up.
Calvin on Fanning.
Where's we gone? There it is. There it is. Side by side. Oh, not long enough. It's. Oh, then we've got Chatty Duck on Barnstop as well into turn 1. Makes the move. I think Barnstop went a little bit wide into turn 1, trying to give clean space, which he did very, very well. But this is
Fanning
still
side by side with Calvin.
Again, yeah. But Fanning's still going to have the DRS. He's going to have enough ERS. He moves to the inside lines. He's going to allow Calvin to pass. Why would he? It's championship at stake here. Big points. And Fanning will do anything he can. He is probably one of the best racers I've come across wheel to wheel, who will give space. He is very, very aware of his surroundings. Yeah, Monsters through as well. Those soft tyres, he may have to pit again though, as we mentioned earlier. Ryan though, that's so unlucky. He's come out way behind Genie. Those mediums really fired up, and those hards really fell off a cliff for Ryan, because Genie was behind, don't forget, by about 2 seconds, maybe a second and a half, and he's now 5-6 seconds of Ryan. So this is hurting, but I tell you what now, Fanning trying to get the run on... Oh, sorry, Calvin get the run on Fanning. Looks to the outside, looks to the inside. Can't make it stick again. This is so enthralling, because Fanning 5 laps more on those hard compound tyres. Loppy's going to have to pit as well at some point. That's going to open the floodgates for Fanning and Calvin really to get past, because there'll be no DRS assistance, of course, for the McLaren. Goes very deep in the tunnel. Very narrow though, but look at this. We're going to cut away from this for the time being, because we've got... Call me maybe Hosepipe and Confetti Craig all very, very close together. This is a fight for the outright lead of the race. And don't forget, Hosepipe and Confetti up there early in the opening laps. And Hosepipe spun it at the safety car restart. Confetti had a moment, lost his front wing, and now it's battle back. Oh, speaking of the devil, Cosman's had a moment, hit the wall and lost his front wing.
Oh wow, that's huge for the result of the race.
It really is. He's going to be absolutely kicking himself.
So interesting. Fanning was holding on ahead of Calvin because he had ERS and Calvin didn't. But now both of them are out of ERS, so it's down to pure straight line speed.
Oh, Calvin's going for down the inside. Fanning leaves him room, trying to turn in. Saw him there. They're still side by side through. Keeps ahead just as Fanning.
But look who's coming to bite at their heels. It's Chatty Duck has come for some more action.
Yeah, 19 laps on those hards. You'd have to think there's another pit stop coming. And those you can see under traction, those hard tyres for Calvin too. But oh, nearly hits the back there. Just about got it stopped. Those hards are suffering a little bit now for Fanning, starting to go away a little bit. I think Loppy's now trying to do that. Oh, as Fanning's hit the wall, he's gone under the hairpin.
No. Fanning, no. Those older tyres, I think they've just... Obviously, we've been pushing them hard. I think he's just pushed a bit too hard. Monsters now on the back of him. Duck's obviously through.
Yeah.
Monsters needs to get past Lorpy quickly if he wants to make moves in this race. We've got a yellow flag a bit further back. I think it's one of the AlphaTauris. Looks like Anton's in the wall.
Oh no, the AlphaTauris are having a race of, well, very difficult races for both of them, you'd have to say. Barnstop's still there in the points. Fibers has got past him now. He'll be feeling a lot better. And those mediums had a torrid time on the hard tyres early on. Dumas Hornick, shout out to him at currently in 8th. Now let's have a look what's happened. Loppy's now finally going to pit. 20 laps on those hard tyres. Really well done. Chatty Duck's also 20 laps on his hard tyres. They're not going to be feeling too smart. Oh, Fanning had a look in the background there at Andrew, but Andrew goes wide. Andrew had the grip, and into turn 3 that he set that up very, very well, did the Fryman. He was saying earlier he had a torrid race, he can't buy his luck. Well, he's getting a bit of it now. He may have to pit still though. He's going to pray probably for a safety car, you'd have to say, otherwise that's going to really, really drop him way outside of contention. Look at Floppy Loppy and the hosepipe now on the soft tyres. They're going to be charging back through the field.
Chatty Duck is all over the back of Calvin, despite having much older tyres. Calvin's got no ERS. Chatty Duck's got just under half of his battery alive. So, whilst Confetti Craig and Call Me the Brave are charging away at the front in the mediums, these two on the hards are having their own fight at the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
And Monster's not far behind either.
Yeah, Monster's going to try to close that gap while his tyres still can. You'd have to say, if either of those two guys can hold on to the end, it's going to take absolute monumental skill, I would have to say, rather than luck, to do that with the tyres aging the way that they will age. Confetti as well, you've still got 8 racing laps after this one left, so you'd even have to say Confetti on those mediums will struggle to get into the end.
Yeah, it'll be very slippy.
Oh, Fanning's retired! No, Fanning! Oh, he's gone straight on. Look at that, into the wall. No. He's had a moment. Ooh, I tell you what, he didn't actually go. So full safety car is out. What are the leaders going to do with that? He's not yet at the pits, so this is going to be very, very interesting. You'd have to say, yeah, this could be a chance for Chatty Duck, Andrew as well. They're not going to lose as much time. Stringy B past 5 was there, maybe under the safety car condition. Nope, Confetti stayed out, and call me maybe Calvin stayed out, which is fair. Chatty Duck stayed out.
I would be putting a set of softs on if I were on the front line.
Andrews decided to pit. Is he going for a set of softs, or is he going to go to another set of mediums? We will see shortly.
I tell you what,
Barnstop's pitting.
Yeah, right now, if you think we're going to have 2 to 3 laps of safety car, you can just about make it to the end of the softs. There'll be a bit squeaky bum time, but they'll probably be fine. No difference for the rest of the tyres at this stage.
Yep, Stringy B's had to put hards back on, so has Anton had to put hards back on as well. Oh, wow. Oh no, sorry, I think I got that the wrong time.
Track positions, obviously, you're being a street circuit vital. We saw Ryan, for example, and Genie holding on brilliantly on the older tyres, so yeah, don't be surprised to see a few people decide to hang it out there. Obviously, the whole of the top 7 have continued. In the case of Calvin, Hornet, Genie, Ryan, that's not a surprise. I am surprised that neither Call Me the Brave or Confetti Craig pitted. I'd have thought one of them would have done, and I thought Chatty Duck would have pitted. Yeah,
he already has been in the pits a couple of times this race. He put the let's have a look. Stops, there he is. Yeah, he stopped twice already this race, so this safety car has really helped him get back. But to put the hards on and try to whisper them to the end is going to take quite a bit of skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, losing my voice already. But I think the saviour for that one, Ryan, is going to close on the back. He was struggling off the back of Genie with after their stops. Andrews had 4 stops. He's going to love that to get back up and be on the soft tyres. I think he's on the soft tyres. See that right? Yes, he's on another set of soft tyres. Loppy as well. He's going to be happy with that. Fyrus on the softs. Kareem Benzema outside the top 10 on mediums. It has me say, are they going to hang on? Are they going to hold that grip throughout the race for the remaining laps that we'll see here tonight? It's I don't know. I called Calvin earlier. Potentially, he's currently sitting there in 3rd. He's on the hard tyres, but quite fresh. You'd have to say they'll have gone through that difficult phase, and they'll be okay to the end. Brave and Confetti not taking as much out, so this could be. I don't know if Wimpy or Confetti have actually won a race yet. This could be maiden victories.
Confetti Craig has won in Tier 3. He won it in I think it's Abu Dhabi, but I think he lost it on penalties. I think it's twice he's lost it on penalties.
Oof.
Call Me the Brave, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's won a race yet in MRC.
I don't think so, no. So he'll be...
Neither have won in Tier 2, actually. Neither have won a Tier 2 race. Actually, Call Me the Brave, I think, has won in Tier 3. I think he did. But neither have won in Tier 2 anyway. I don't believe either have had a podium in Tier 2, actually, so... yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, just quickly look at the penalties now. Dumas Hornet with 3, Monster with 3, Kareem and Barnstop and Anton with 3, Stringy B with 6 seconds worth of penalties. It's going to be a risk for Andrew. He's going to have to really make a move. He's going to want to score points with the remaining laps that we'll have left. Probably say that it might go in this lap of safety car. Depends how quickly Anton can catch up to the back of the pack.
I have to say, obviously Andrew being the lead driver on the softs, I know Genie and Ryan on the mediums will be just as good, frankly, with the age of tyres coming in nicely for them. Yeah. But you'd expect Andrew to come flying through from here. He had some good pace earlier. You know he's a racy guy, and his softs are going to come alive.
Yeah, as long as he keeps his head as well, keeps focused, he should come through quite nicely. You would think, and kind of think with the size he's got on. Good evening to the Dennison household. Nice of you to join us. I'm sure they'll have been there all along, just keeping quiet.
I know Mandy, even when Mark's racing, Mandy's always in the stream, always watching. So yeah.
There we go. Confetti won in the Netherlands, but lost it due to a disqualification. And then he's won in X Challenger class last 2, so there we are, but he hasn't won in the tiers yet. And here we go, safety car is now in. We've got our 3rd Safety car restart. Oh no, Fanning's left the session, but unfortunately that was just an absolute... he was having such a good race as well. Shame for him. He did very, very well with very little practice. He'll be back next week in Japan, I am sure. Maybe our third safety car restart. Third different driver to take us away. Is Conway the Brave going to do? He's gone early. He's gone before the last corner. Can he keep it in a straight line? He does. What's going to happen? Calvin's had the jump, and I think it's Confetti's gone round. He has. Confetti went round.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my days.
That's huge.
It really is. Brave's going. This is big for Calvin as well. That's one less to fight with. That's one less for Chetty Duck to fight with. Dumas Hornet up into 4th spot. He must have had a real good... I'm sure he wasn't there before, was he?
He was last at one point. I think after the first 2 safety cars, he was stone dead last. So this is cracking for him.
It really is. This is a fantastic race from the Elder Hornet. But he's got Genie for company. Genie's going to have a look at the inside. Is he going to make a move late on the brakes? Oh, big lock-up from Hornet. Still manages to make the corner, though. Ryan in close company, but also don't forget Andrew there on the soft compound tyres. Going to have them fired up, ready to go. Well, let's have a look at this battle for the lead. Chatty Duck all over the back of Calvin, who in turn tracks close down the wimpy boy up ahead. And is he going to be brave? Is he going to be a wimp? Is he going to struggle? He goes a little bit wide to start under the Anderson Bridge. That's going to really compromise him, and it's a bit too short, though. Calvin taking the wide line to try to get the car straightened up to get the power down. Chatty Duck all over the back of him. Still gets really good drive, but Calvin seems to run a little bit less downforce. Pulls away a touchdown. The straight, no DRS yet for the next 2 laps after this one. Dropping Dumas Hornet as well slightly. He's got pressure still from Stringy B. Got another penalty. That's unfortunate. He's in 10th as well. Confetti's still there. He's on the back. He'll gain a couple of places. Potentially not points though, unfortunately for him. But still, 5 more racing laps after this one to go. Anything can happen, and usually does in MRC. Genie there, Ryan and Monster with Floppy Loppy, who's had a really good race as well, hasn't he? As the Flopster.
The Flopster has had a good race, obviously, in my beloved Williams. I'm biased, of course. But no, he's had a good race. He's kept it clean. He's obviously on the soft tyre, so he could make some moves here. I'm just watching Genie on the back of Dumas Hornet, and I can't help but think, when is the move going to happen? Genie looks very racy right now. He does.
He's got the grippier tyres on, hasn't he? And he's going to, I think Ryan's going to be looking to take up the pieces, but look at this, he's already side by side going down the straight, no DRS, this is pure pace, he's ahead going into the break, and so does he make it? Yes, he does. Oh, Ryan nearly goes to the back of Dumas Hornet. Manages to avoid, but that's now going to allow... Whoa, there's contact! Oh my days, Ryan and Monster have come together. I don't know what actually happened there. Ryan was facing the wrong way entirely, so I'm not actually sure at all what happened there. I think the stewards will look at that, but we're going to skip away from it because I think the stewards may look at that late on. That is, oh my days. I feel sorry for him because I don't actually know what happened with that one.
Both of them, both Ryan and Monster, were on good new tyres, so looking good for coming through the field like Genie has done.
Yeah.
Right now, Genie is actually an outside chance for the win. Obviously, Coolman the Braves tyres and Chatty Duck's tyres are not ideal. Calvin's very racy, but those mediums on Genie's car. He's really close. He's only 2 seconds to hit the top 4.
Yep, he is. He's on the back already of Chatty Duck. After that move on Hornet, who's dropped way back, struggling with the heat on them. He's going to be under pressure from Loppy, Stringy B, Firus, and Kareem Benzema. But look at this battle for the lead. You know, we've still got Brave. That will those tyres go off the mediums? They've had another lap, a couple of laps behind the safety car, so should, in theory, still make it to the end without losing too much. But this is it now. There it is at the top. Race control. DRS is now enabled. That is going to be key. Let's have a quick look at the telemetry. 84% for Wimpy Boy. He hasn't used much of his DRS. Calvin, 29%. Using it as much as he can to try to keep up there. Chatty Duck, 83%. 51 for Mr. Clean. So you'd have to say Calvin a little bit of a disadvantage at the moment, using as much of the ERS as he has done, and I'm pretty sure he'll be using it now to try to close up on Mr. Brave. There's Dumas Hornet there, look at that. He's having that fight with the Williams. Is he going to have better drive? Is he going to go into... Oh, he's heavy braked early, but look at that. Allow Stringy B to opportunity on the outside of Manches. What a move! That is not a place to overtake. That is very tight. Look, oh, there's a contact, I think, was that? Oh, big crash, and the hit, and there's contact. Oh, my days, it's gone. It's just carbon fibre all over the place. That's Loppy, that's Barnstop involved. I'm not sure how that even started. There's an Alfa Romeo around, and Ryan's gone as well.
Yeah,
Confetti's
Craig and
gone!
Ryan are both gone.
I think Fivers was involved in that one as well. There's a few cars there without... Well, Fivers has still got his wing. There's a few there. Husband's not got a front wing. Monster, has he got a wing? He does. He's ahead of that. He's now fighting Kareem Benzema. Oh, I don't know what was happening there. That stewards are going to be interested with that one. That's going to take a bit of time, I'd think, afterwards. A lot of footage to sort out.
Yeah.
So I think that was a knock-on effect from braking from... I'm not going to go there. I don't know.
Yeah, the many cars involved, I think, in an incident which will be reviewed later, I think is all we can really say there without causing too much conflict. Let's get back to it. Gene Genie's looking very quick on the back of Chatty Duck, who's
Chatty Duck
on just the tail end of the guys ahead.
Yeah, but if you look at the ERS, 8% and using it still for Calvin, really struggling. Loppy's got 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He goes from bad to worse. Goes from bar stop and Loppy. Bar stop, I think so much for him, for Toby. He was having such a fantastic early part of the race, and just it's just gone to pot for him. Yeah, I am. You know, we don't normally do driver of the days, but early on he was definitely taking my vote, I'd have to say. But I'd have to say at the minute, Colmy the Brave's kind of getting my little vote here. He's holding off Calvin really, really well. Those mediums won't be feeling too great. Chatty Duck as well, doing well. Genie's, had a superb race. And even Thomas Hornet for there, he's now in 6th. He's got the Ferrari behind him. We've got a full safety car again!
Oh, that's crucial. Genie right now is licking his lips, because by the time we get this going again, he's going to have the nicest tyres of anyone in the top 4. Obviously, we've got Stringy B just behind the soft who started to be going off, so actually Genie's looking fantastically tasty now. Calvin's
going to breathe in a sigh of relief because he will get his ERS charged up as well.
He's running out of laps to get Brave, although Brave's tyres are going to be worse than his.
He is. I think we may only get 1 lap behind, because they normally leave us maybe 2-lap shootout, don't they? So it might get another 1 lap behind the safety car. There will be no DRS as well, which I think is going to save there up front. You have to say.
Brave is clever with his use of his battery.
Well, he's barely used it all race. In his defence of Calvin, he made Calvin. He seemed to have the grip and the traction where it needed, and it meant that Calvin had to use it. You saw him every time he used it out of turn 3 to get close to have that run with the DRS. And Brave just seemed to have the traction. He used it just in the right zones to keep ahead and to stop Calvin being close enough to even have a sniff and have a dive on him.
So I think we're going to hit 2 laps here. Looking at where the field spread is, I think he's going to give us 2 laps. Obviously, like I say, no DRS.
It should come in at the end of this lap in theory, because it doesn't give us 1 lap shootout. It only gives us 2.
Yeah. So, this is Des. Call me the Brace to lose.
Yeah, you'd have to say it is. Even though the cars are quite a way down, Loppy's just managed to get into the pits now. Even though he's that far back, I don't think it will catch up. And I feel for Confetti, I feel for Ryan, I feel for all those guys caught up in a bit of the action and a bit of the melee early on. I think the stewards may have a long night ahead. So if you're a steward, if you're watching, you better get a drink ready, lads, and get comfy and kiss the missus good night, because you ain't going to bed, I don't think.
Or if you don't have a missus, kiss your Fanatec, Logitech, Crossmaster.
That's the one.
Controller pad to bed, because that's what I do every night.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan's gone from the session. I think he has. I think Ryan's actually on the tyres, and he's actually had a moment, and he is now retired from the session. But as we said, safety car will be in this lap. We will have a two car. We're getting there. 5 retirees, 6 retirees on this race. But 2-lap shootout under the lights of Singapore Marina Bay. We're going to go for the Singapore Sling. It's going to be wild. It's going to be furious. Do not go anywhere, Bergen. It is not a red flag. Appreciate that, but tough. Deal with it. I know it's sarcasm, but totally we're dealing with that. So, curb your sarcasm. Funny man.
I'm just looking at the... looking at some of the things I've seen in Discord and chat tonight.
I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, just don't.
Okay.
Anyway, we're back underway.
We are. When is Brave going to go? He is warming those tyres furiously. He got a good getaway now last time round, and there he goes. He's gone, and he's actually dropped Calvin a little bit. This is going to be key. Ooh, I don't know what that was in the background. Might have been Stringy B had a little bit of a moment. Yeah, but that's it. Look at that. Brave gets 5/10 back at the start of this safety car restart, but all cars all clean on the getaway. Anton may have had a moment. Firusa has actually had a big moment, and he is now dropped outside of the points. It's been a difficult race for him, but he may get some back because there are penalties after this race, and of course all these Monster in one place. That's unusual. Not seen that one before. Yeah, never seen that.
Yeah. So, call me the Brave right now. Oh, Shetty Duck, very slidey out of turn 8.
Yes, he's allowed Genie past. Genie's gone through, and I'll tell you what, the Swiggy B had a look on him as well. We mentioned Genie may have a chance for podium, and there he goes into the podium spots. But look at this, the Haas is going to have a look. He's going to have a look at the bridge.
Stringy B up the inside, turn 9.
Now on the outside, he has managed it round the outside. Those hard tyres, really struggling to get those heat. They are very used, and he's now holding up. Who's this? We've got Thomas Horner, we've got Monster going on the outside of the hairpin. Monster's managed to get through.
Wow. And Genie's already caught right back up to Calvin and Brave. We're only going to get one lap. Sure, if anything happens to Brave and Calvin, then Genie's in position to pounce. I think, knowing Calvin, he's going to want to take this on track.
He is. Confetti and Kareem Binsma. Oh, horseback. There's action going on further down the field. But we cannot take our eyes away. Battle for the win. Calvin only a couple of tenths, but you're right. He's now dropped a few. He's only 2-3 tenths back, and he's just had a very poor last sector. Dropped him way back. Brave's going to be breathing a sigh of relief. As long as he keeps it through the last couple of corners. One more lap to go round this Singapore circuit. Look at this. The top three separated by about a second as well. This could go anyway. Oh, there we go. There you go. Brave has had a win before. Brazil Season 6 Tier 3 when his previous name was Dare. I think that is his first name. He actually, I think, could be wrong, his name is Dare Brave. I think he's hitting the mic with that one. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know where he's from. It could be.
Genie's got a run on Calvin.
He has. Look at this. He's going to have a look into. He's going. Nearly not quite close enough. Calvin's light was already flashing for his ERS. He has been absolutely going at it. Pretty much left it in overtake, I think, for the whole race. Now that's just allowing Brave to get 6.5 tenths lead. He's not going to be under pressure. Genie can't close close enough. Wow, look at that through. He's going to start going into this middle sector. Turn 11, turn 12, turn 13 under the bridge. Under over. Oh, Genie nearly in the back as well, but he's going to get the traction. Is he going to have the run on Calvin? Calvin does get the traction though again. This is close to Genie, close enough, he's not, but look at this, Brave is now stretching because Calvin's not got ERS. This is just allowed, there's a big contact at the back, who was that? That was not Johnny Duck, that was Confetti, he's lost his wing again. Oh, pushing so hard, he's now trapped Monster behind him, but look at this coming into the London Stadium for the last time. We've got coming back, oh, Genie's gone!
Genie's round.
He's round, he's lost his front wing, oh no! Drama 3 corners from the end, but we're going to follow. Call me the Brave, and he has been brave at the safety car restart. He was brave under pressure from Calvin. He takes the victory. Calvin in second. Chatty Duck takes third. After penalties, Confetti Craig takes fourth with no front wing. Dumas Hornet takes fifth. Stringy B in sixth. Kareem Benjamin seventh. Monster in 8th, one up and down race, great race from him to recover more. Fibers to again, good points. Genie, he is going to be, he's so unlucky with that one. He will finish 10th. Barnstop 11th, so unlucky for him as well to not get points. Anton, Hosepipe and Floppy Loppy will round out the finishers as he just goes wide, why not? Wow.
And Brave.
I know.
So congratulations to Call Me the Brave. It's his first win for definite in Tier 2 and almost certainly his first win in MRC, not even MRC yet, so congratulations. But wow, what a mix-up racing results we've had there.
That really was, wasn't it? And what an action-packed race. We saw some extraordinary overtakes in that, and a few just misjudgments, we'll call it. Stewart's maybe busy. There was a bit of debris flying in at multiple points in that race. But that's So provisional I don't even know where to go with that one. Provisional results, folks, for Tier 2 tonight. Call Me the Brave takes the victory from 12th on the grid. Calvin takes second, close that gap now on to Fanning, who DNF this evening. Chatty Duck takes third on his debut. Fantastic race from him. Confetti Craig, mixed emotions I would think from Confetti, but does take fourth in the end. Thomas Horner takes fifth, Stringy B in sixth. Green Benzema from 18th, Stringy B from 20th actually as well. Great race from him from last on the grid. He's going to be really happy with that one. Green Benzema takes 7th, Monster in 8th after 4 pit stops as well. Fire Rooster went round a few times. We saw him pirouetting outside of turn 3 and the last corner. Genie, so close to a podium there. He's going to be kicking himself. He rounds out the top 10 as it stands. Barnstorp in 11th, Anton in 12th, Husband in 13th, and Loppy rounds out the finishers. DNF this evening, both McLarens, disappointing for them, 15th and 16th classified, but DNF for them. Alex crashed, I think, under safety car somehow, I think, warming his tyres and lost it. Then we've got DRS Julian, really unlucky for him. Woomax and Tom Brown on the first lap for him. That was incredible.
Driver of the day for you then, Marky Poo?
I'm going to have to give it to Brave because the pressure he was under from Calvin, it's pretty much Tier 1 pace as well, and he was very, very calm. He didn't use a lot of his ERS either, whereas he made Calvin use so much of it. I would have to go with Brave and takes a well-deserved victory. Yourself?
Yeah, I tell you what, 12th to first, his first win, it's hard to ignore him. So yeah, I'd agree with you that. Chatty Duck, well done on his first MRC race. After all the calamities and chaos, shows why you don't give up. So he and Hornet both deserve special mentions there. But yeah, Call Me the Brave / Dare. I'm going to give it to him. Better play for him. Another shout out for Toby, Barnstop as well.
Yeah, I think he definitely deserved it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that. That was incredible. Don't go anywhere, folks. In approximately 10 minutes time, we will have the Tier 1 race with the Anaconda himself and the Choir Boy, and who will be with us and giving you all the action back under the lights here in Singapore once the marshals cleared up all of the front wings. I'm sure we'll see more carnage, but hopefully not. I'd have to just say now, thank you everybody who watched us, who joined for the entirety. That was absolutely incredibly witnessed this evening. And also thank you to you, Chris, for joining us.
No, the place is all mine.
Thank you,
my friend.
Anytime, my friend. It's always a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll do it again very, very soon. But I would say join us in approximately 10 minutes' time, where we will have Tier 1 taking around the streets of Singapore. So thank you everybody for joining us. We will look forward to seeing you soon. Good night.